I'm Kayla.
I'm Anna. This is Laughs and Legacies.
Hey guys, welcome back to Laughs and Legacies. This week we got babysitting stories. I was kind of excited about this one.
Honestly, I was expecting something really scary this time, but thankfully we just caught good, mild,
Wholesome.
funny ones, okay? Just, if you have scary ones, I think we should do another one for that. Babysitting horror stories. Those terrify me, with weird parents or something like that hired you.
Really? I've never even heard of that except for in horror movies. So I just never thought they were real.
Okay, if you have one, we want one. But one for me is, I am not a babysitter. I never did that really growing up. I was the last minute girl in the neighborhood that people would come to, hey, you free? Can you please? We went to this person. They had to, convince me. I'm like, oh, okay, I will. But just so you know, I don't babysit. I'm not very good. When I say I'm not very good, I mean, I hate responsibility over other people's children. So it freaks me out.
It's scary.
Right. So, when I was about 22, someone in our neighborhood really needed help, and it was one of my mom's friends. And she went and asked a bunch of people, and no one was free. My mom's like, my daughter's free. She can probably help. And so she's like, that would be so amazing. My mom said, hey, can you help? I was like, Mom, I don't babysit. I'm very uncomfortable with that. And
especially as a 22-year-old, I feel like I'm not a nanny as a career.
Yeah, I've never babysat really much. I've done a little bit for my cousins. I will totally do it for family because I'm more comfortable if they break something. I'm like, that was your kid, and they'll be like, yep, I get it, But these strangers don't know me. I go over there and I tell her right away. I was like, I just want you to know I don't babysit. I'm just doing this I'm not doing this to be paid. I don't want to be paid. This is a favor. I don't babysit. I'm just going to sit on the couch and do my homework because you said they're asleep, right? You have daughters and some babies or something? She's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, okay, cool. So they leave. They understand. I'm sitting doing homework, but then the babies start screaming. I go in and I'm trying to comfort them. One, they're sick, and I didn't know they were sick. So they were breathing
little Darth Vader
and
babies.
I was like, are they dying? I was like, can they breathe? Do I move? I was like, don't you, put people to their side if they can't breathe? And so I was like, what do I do? And so I, started lifting them and moving them. Second of all, I don't know which one I'm at.
It's not good.
They're triplets.
And you didn't know.
Mother tracking triplets. And I go in there and I'm trying to hold one, two. And I was like, what do I do with the third one? I was like, that one's crying. I put one on the bed. I grab the other one. I'm trying to hold the other one up with my hand so it doesn't fall off the bed. Then it starts to roll. And I'm like, crap. And then I'm trying to hold them all. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Anyways, eventually I get them to calm down. I put them all back. And I'm like, I am so glad nothing bad happened. And I am so glad no one was watching. I get up to get out of the room and I see a nanny cam. I was like, I was never here to make a good impression anyways. So
you're like, I preface this that I'm not good at this.
Yes, I was like, I was thinking in my head, I really hope they enjoy this later. Or, maybe are terrified about asking some 22-year-old girl that says, I do not babysit. Anyways.
You should let somebody know about triplets, though. That's a lot. That's hard.
Well, she just expected them to sleep through the night. She just says babies, and so I was like, oh, okay. And
you should always I give way too much information when I have a babysitter come over, because I don't want people to freak out like that. I'm like, hey, if this happens, they're my neighbor right here, you can go talk to them if it's an emergency, or you can do this, or you can,
that's smart.
I give them so much information.
Well, I was 22, and so they probably expected more of me. Which, that was our first mistake.
Fair enough.
That was our 7th mistake. I don't know which one are we at. Anyways, then, finally, they come home at, midnight or something like that, and right as they walk in, their two twins, little girls, come out, Mom, Daddy, and I'm just like, I did not know they were awake. I was like, I swear they were asleep. They're like, it's okay. And I was like, goodbye.
I'm not gonna make this worse. Yeah. I'm leaving.
They're like, thank you. And I was like, go watch the nanny cam. Good night.
I literally always watched angelic kids. Literally. I always got asked to watch.
Whose?
No, just
angelic kids. Good.
They were just really good. One family, they played their games with me, and then they went to bed super early. I was like, cool. They had already eaten and done. The other kids, I would get there, they would eat, they would want to watch TV, and their parents said, yeah, they can watch TV. Sat there the whole time, and then they went to bed. Like, amazing.
I never had good experiences. You suck.
I only really babysat 2 families. Like, every once in a while, a different random kid, but 2 families. I just always babysat them until one time I fell asleep. They were already asleep. The kids were all asleep. They came home way later than they said they would, and I fell asleep. And I heard the garage open, and so I, like, get up, and they saw that I was sleeping, and they never asked me to babysit again. I was like, really? It's not like you would sleep. It's not like you stay up all night. Like, why are you mad at me? You know what I mean? Maybe they weren't mad, and maybe they just thought I was too old to keep babysitting their kid. I don't know, but, like, always hurt my feelings. I was like...
Who normalized kids babysitting, though? When did that trend start?
I don't know. Actually, and now that you said that, I did babysit one kid, like, a random time, because I always babysat the same ones, like I said, that he was young enough to... He pooped in his crib, and he had wiped it everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
All over the crib, all over himself, and that was, like, the first time I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to touch this kid. I don't want to clean this up. I was like,
Throw the baby away.
Like, goodbye. That was the only bad experience I think I've ever had babysitting.
Oh my gosh. It's so much harder to pick up poo or gross things from someone that's not family. Like, a baby that's not family, you know? Or even...
It's so true, because my own kid can throw up on me, and I'm like, okay, well, that was gross.
Okay, I listened to a podcast about it. It's called, well, you know, disgust. There's a whole thing about disgust, one of the emotions, and you're totally okay with picking up your own dog's poo, but not someone else's. That's gross. And you're okay getting a kiss from your nasty nephew and his, like, face
Boogery
covered in food and boogers, and you're like, thank you, baby. But if some other kid did it, you're like, you know? So it's just like everyone has different levels of disgust and disgust familiarity. Anyways, moving on from that. Sorry, I listened to other podcasts.
No, that's good. That is an interesting one to have, and it's so true.
Speaking of disgust, and this is disgusting whether or not it's someone in my family or not, I was with a friend, and she babysits. She's like, hey, there's this family, they said they want 2 people, like, can you come, like, join me? And I was like, mother trucker, I hate babysitting. And how did I get roped into these things? And so I went and, like, I was like, hey kids, what's up? And then, like, my friend, like, I brought cookies, and gives them all cookies, and I just, like, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna lay on the couch. And I just, like, laid on the couch, and then all of a sudden a kid's head pops up into my view, and he's, like, smiling. I'm like, hey. And he spits his entire cookie all over my face. Just a wet, nasty cookie. And I'm like,
you're like, I'm leaving. Bye.
I was pissed. But, like, they're not my siblings, so how do I, like, I can't get mad. I can't be like, brother, you're going to, like, get it. Like, what the heck?
You're going to get it.
Oh.
That's so
I was mad.
nasty.
I was like, what do I do, Zoe? And she's like, clean it. I was like, ah! It was gross.
Like, no more cookies for you.
Yeah, I was upset. I was not made for babysitting other people's children. My nieces and nephews, they're amazing. I would die for them. They literally, their poop smells like roses, okay? They are perfect.
Thank you, I know. I made a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Keely and Andrew. They got 2 good ones, too. Our next story is actually of someone who babysat us. So my mom told us this story.
Oh, I don't know this. Okay.
They had their good night out, whatever, and came home, and this was all the mess was Anna. She was the baby at the time. So Trevor wasn't born, you were the baby.
Uh-huh.
They get home, and for whatever reason, the babysitter had literally let you rub SpaghettiOs everywhere and up mom's blinds and curtains, and there were SpaghettiOs everywhere. And my mom's like, awesome. And then she goes, before she had left on her date, she said she had taken a bottle out and told the babysitter, here's her bottle, like, feed it to her, whatever, at this time. But she had also taken out an old bottle that was in her car and put it on the stairs. So 2 different bottles. One that was old sitting in the car and one that was brand new. And she had fed Anna the old bottle that was sitting on the stairs. That was like days old.
Did I have the
from her
shits or something?
You threw up for days. So my mom was like, that was the last time I asked that babysitter to come over because of all that. Didn't listen. Fed you this nasty bottle.
This is why I'm so funny.
Oh,
it's the trauma.
It's the trauma. So that's really sad. I would be so pissed if someone did that to my baby. But I clean my... I usually have family babysit, but the few times I've had somebody else babysit, I like clean the house perfectly. There is no mistake. I lock our bedroom door even because I don't want Xander in our room. For them to go in there, like, I make it very clear, like, off limits.
For some reason, someone taught us that when we babysit, we also clean their entire house.
Yeah,
who taught us that?
I remember
terrible.
doing that too, cleaning their whole house and all their dishes.
That sounds like slavery. Huh. Just kidding.
So, I don't know if that's still a thing that people are, like, taught for whatever reason. And so, I had a couple dishes in my sink. I pretty much cleaned everything, but there were, like, 2. And I had made it known. I was like, don't touch those. Like, don't clean those dishes. I don't know. I just didn't want her to feel like she should. I'm like, don't touch those. I was like, but you can go grab food or whatever.
Huh.
I do expect people, if you're going to eat something or use my dishes, to wash your own dish. But I expect that of anyone. So.
True. Okay, next one from Auntie Tara. Our Auntie Tara, she's not, she's an in-law, I guess. And she was babysitting her sister-in-law, Auntie Carol's kids. Does that make sense? Auntie Carol asked Auntie Tara, her in-law.
And I don't know if Tara was... She was either, like, brand new to the family or they were, like, engaged or something. She was just, like, really new to the family.
Yeah, I think she was, like, in her 20s, okay? And so
and I think
Auntie
she
Carol's
only
like,
was
hey,
babysitting Grant.
Yeah, she's like, hey, can you babysit Grant, this young kid? And he was just, like, a little boy, like, very little, okay? I don't know the age. And he had to think about having a very clean bum, okay? Like, he... like
Every kid has their, like, weird thing. I feel like toddlers.
Yeah.
And his thing was he needed to be clean.
Xander's so cute. He wipes his hand after touching anything. Dirt, he like...
He, like, wipes his hands on
his
himself.
hands have to be clean. Like, he has to have clean hands. It's so cute.
He came from me.
Yeah. So Grant, he always had to have a clean bum and would make sure that you wiped until it was clean. Now, he had gone poop, and he goes and finds Tara, bends over, like, sphincter in air towards her, and says, can you clean my bum? She's just like, what the freak? Wipe your own bum.
Could you just imagine just, like, on all fours, just, I need you to wipe me!
Yeah, wipe me! I would just stare and, like, throw a wipey at you and be like, get it.
I just think it's funny, like, new to the family, you're like, sure. People still tease him to this day as a, 26-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
About, I need you to wipe me.
I feel like if some relative in some sort, like, has at one point changed your bum, they have to, like, remind you every time they see you, I changed your poopy diapers. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate it. I guess. You know? So, like, I went over to Caitlin's house last week, and, like, she just sat and told me, she's like, it's just so crazy to me you're getting married. I would change your poopy diapers. My cousin, Caitlin, she's the oldest of the family. I'm on the lower end. She sat and told me about how she changed my diapers. I'm like, that's so good. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. But then I think at the same time, I do the exact same thing to Ethan and Eva, the youngest of this family. They're twins, and I babysat them, and I like, when I see them, I just think in my head, like, you once wore diapers and I had to change them, and now you're, like, in school, like, liking people
growing up.
And stop. Weird.
It's so weird. I see the kids that I used to babysit all getting married right now, and it makes me want to...
I
feel
see
so
kids
old.
that I babysat in the YSA with me. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, that's how you know. Yeah,
Are
that
you
makes
18?
Me...
What the freak? I babysat you. And they're trying to date and, like, hang out with me, my friends. I'm like,
Like, go away, I don't like.
Yeah, or like one of my guy friends are like, I'm dating this girl, this is her name. And I was like, oh my gosh, I babysat her. And then it's like weird because me and the guy are the same age.
Ew, no, don't like it. It's so creepy. I hate getting old. It's not like I'm really old, but getting older just, everything's weird.
Next story.
Anyways, we're gonna, the last story is from my friend Bailey. I'm gonna just read it as she wrote it. So, I was watching 3 siblings, ages ranging 4 to 8. We were all playing hide and seek tag. That's a good game. And I was helping the 4-year-old hide. We were caught, and he started booking it down the hallway. Poor kid was so excited to be involved that he forgot to pay attention to where he was running and knocked his head on the wall. I went to him to check his head, and he had a small red mark, but didn't hit too hard. He happened to hit his head where there were a few small dents in the wall already. So trying to get him to cheer up and laugh, I said, "Whoa, look! You beat up the wall!" And he thought this was so hilarious that he and his siblings started saying that he was Iron Man. And I had to spend the rest of the night telling him that no, his head was not made of steel and not to beat up the wall with it.
Oh my gosh. This poor kid, he's like, I bet I can hit that wall. You
It's
guys
like
want to see?
rhinoceros.
Yeah. Crap. She dug herself into a hole there.
But I mean, it was cute how she did it, but the rest of the kids were the ones that convinced him.
Dude,
Wait.
you're Iron Man. That's so cool. I would be convinced as a kid. I'd be like, ha, watch this. And do it again.
Xander, who's not even 2 years old, he'll hit the head and we'll try to make him laugh. Because you know when kids hit and if you make a gasping noise, they'll start crying, even if they're not hurt, right? Uh-huh. So we do the same thing to him, like, oh, you're so silly. Until then he'll like purposely lean over and go... and laughs. It's the funniest thing to me.
So instead of teaching him to cry when he like gets hit or something like that, you taught him to laugh when he gets hit? This sounds like a disorder. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't mean to teach him to laugh, but we were trying to tell him, like, oh, you're okay, it's okay.
That's okay. Xander's gonna be the main character now. That's main character energy. He's playing soccer, gets wrecked and rolls, and starts laughing. Gets up, it's like some anime shiz, and he's like, let's go.
Destroy you now.
Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what is that? He just wrecks him.
I love it. He's gonna be a tough cookie.
Yes.
Anyone that babysits him as he gets older,
yes.
I apologize now. He's cute, but he's a lot.
Now, you guys, I have no idea what our prompt is going to be next week, but it's going to be a good one. We're posting stuff about prompts you should submit stories to. So go check it out. Just go see what we got. Go submit stories, and we'll catch you next week.
Have a good one, guys.